Hello students. Today we are going to study about the colonial forest policies and its impact on local communities. Initially, the forest belonged to the local rulers and influential local chiefs or the zamindars. The local people had unhindered access to the forest for their own uses. With a growing demand for timber, the British authority realized the potentiality of India's forest as an important source of revenue income. In 1807, the East India Company first claimed the royalty rights for teak woods. Ultimately, the conservator of forest was given the power to sanction felling of teak trees. The beginning of systematic forest policy started during the time of Lord Dalhousie. For the first time, Lord Dalhousie issued a memorandum in 1855 on forest conservation called the Charter of Indian Forest. He suggested that teak timber should be retained as state property and its trade should strictly be regulated. In 1856, Dietrich Brandis, a German botanist, was appointed the first Inspector General of Forest. Then the Forest Department was organized and the first act was enacted under his guidance. Brandis then made an inventory of trees in India and classified them. The first act for the regulation was passed in 1865. By this act, the government was empowered to declare any land covered with trees or brushwood as government forest and make rules to manage them. The act was applicable only to the forests controlled by the government and did not cover the private forest. But there was no provision regarding the rights of the users. The Act of 1865 was replaced by more comprehensive Indian Forest Act of 1878. This was the second step in the direction of further extension of states' authority over forest. Accordingly, forests were now divided into reserve forest, protected forest, and village forest. Reserve forest. The best forests were called reserve forest. The village could not take anything from the forest even for their own use. For house building or fuel, they could take wood from protected or village forest. Now, the forest policy of 1894 was the next step. By this act, several restrictions were imposed on the rights and privileges of the users in the forest. In 1894, the forest officials secretly appeared in the scene and claimed the authority to limit and regulate the traditional tribal rights over the forest. This Land Acquisition Act of 1894 allowed the government to acquire any private land. Now we get into the impact on local communities. By the first Forest Act of 1865, restrictions were imposed on the collection of forest produced by the forest dwellers. Thus, the social practices of the local people were then restrained by law. The rural people were affected the most because of the traditional rights like collecting woods, pasturing of cattle, and others were denied. The people of the forest were now as intruders on the state property. Imprisonment and fines were also prescribed for these offences. The British authority branded the rural population as destructive, short-sighted, and inefficient. Taking advantage of the so-called technological and scientific backwardness of the rural people, the British authority introduced the system. The local population undertook different forms of resistance for the denial of their traditional means of livelihood. They started individual protest in groups, and sometimes started open revolts against the British authority for threatening their survival. Thank you.